Imagine feeling like you're carrying around a weight that just won't let you move forward. That weight is emotional attachment, and it's something we all experience at one time or another. It's like being stuck in a loop where you feel like you can't let go of something or someone, even if it's causing you more pain than joy. It's a tough spot to be in, and it can make you feel powerless, like you're trapped in a cycle that you can't break free from. But guess what? You're not alone, and you're definitely not powerless. That's where the wisdom of ancient Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca comes in. These guys lived thousands of years ago, but their ideas about how to deal with tough emotions are still super relevant today. So, what exactly is Stoicism? It's not about being emotionless or ignoring your feelings. Instead, it's about learning how to deal with your emotions in a healthier way. It's about finding a balance between acknowledging your feelings and not letting them control you. In this video, we're going to explore some of the key principles of Stoicism that can help you break free from the chains of emotional attachment. We'll talk about things like acceptance, gratitude, and focusing on what you can control. These might sound like simple ideas, but they can have a profound impact on your life if you put them into practice. By learning from the wisdom of these ancient philosophers, you'll discover practical strategies to let go of the things that are weighing you down. You'll learn how to say goodbye to those mental shackles of attachment and embrace a newfound sense of clarity and focus in your life. So, if you're ready to take control of your emotions and break free from the cycle of attachment, then this video is for you. Let's dive in and start our journey towards emotional freedom together. The power of detachment. Let's delve into the profound significance of detachment and why it holds such importance in our lives. Consider this: when we hold on too tightly to people or situations, it's akin to handing over the remote control of our emotions. We grant others the authority to flick through the channels of our feelings at their whim. Their influence can sway our happiness, deepen our sadness, and in extreme cases, even steer us towards irreversible decisions. However, detachment isn't synonymous with apathy or indifference. Rather, it's about understanding where to allocate our emotional energy. Visualize your emotions as a kite, with each string attached to something or someone representing a potential direction in which your feelings can be pulled. If we grasp onto too many strings or clutch onto one too tightly, we become at the mercy of the wind. Stoicism offers us a valuable lesson in loosening our grip, recognizing that while we can't control external forces, we retain agency over which strings we hold on to. This doesn't render us cold; instead, it cultivates resilience and groundedness. Now, let's transition from theory to practice. Start by pinpointing what or who you find yourself overly attached to. Then, introspect: why do you seek validation? Are you driven by a fear of loneliness or something deeper? Understanding the root cause of our attachment is the initial stride towards emancipating ourselves from its grasp. Next, engage in activities that infuse your life with purpose and fulfillment. Just as a ship needs an anchor to steady itself amidst turbulent waters, detaching from toxic relationships or draining situations can liberate us. In its essence, detachment bestows upon us a newfound freedom. Understanding attachment. To truly comprehend attachment, we must acknowledge that it often stems from our ego. Let's strip away the layers and return to our fundamental essence: love. Think of a newborn baby, radiating pure joy, unencumbered by the complexities of ego. Yet as we mature, our ego assumes control, cluttering our lives with attachments. These attachments, whether to people or ideals, obscure our judgment and divert us from our inherent nature, which is love. Remember, attachment is the ego's game, diametrically opposed to love. Self-contentment. By stepping back and examining our desires and connections through the lens of self-contentment, we begin to realize the unnecessary weight they impose on our lives. Now, picture a life lived from a place of love rather than ego. Envision the freedom of not clinging desperately to outcomes, people, or statuses. Living from a place of love enables you to trust in abundance, to genuinely believe that what is meant for you will find its way. This isn't about wishful thinking, it's about deeply rooted faith in your personal value and capabilities. It empowers you to let go, to recognize that attachments are merely anchors, limiting the vast ocean of possibilities you're meant to explore. So, how do we begin untangling ourselves from these anchors? Start by acknowledging the attachment for what it is, a product of your ego seeking security and validation. Then, shift your perspective. Understand that your worth isn't tied to this attachment. Your essence, your core, is enough. This understanding doesn't happen overnight. It requires deliberate practice and a conscious choice to prioritize inner peace over external validation. Finally, embrace the concept of abundance. When you let go of the fear of loss, the universe has a way of rewarding you with more than what was relinquished. Detachment doesn't mean caring less, it means understanding better. It means staying true to your essence, letting love guide you rather than fear. The journey towards detachment is transformative. It's about shedding layers of ego to uncover the resilient, love-filled soul beneath. It's about moving forward with lightness, free from the burdens of attachment, ready to welcome new blessings with open arms and a steadfast heart. The illusion of the ego. Sometimes, our ego tricks us into believing that we're not good enough or that others have it better. This illusion leads us to emotionally cling to others for validation, idolizing them and placing them on pedestals. Yet, when we strip away the layers and confront life's critical moments, we realize that no one holds a special ticket. We're all equally vulnerable, equally human. It's crucial to confront this illusion head-on, seeing it for the mirage it is, and not letting it distort our perception of ourselves or others. Let's talk about self-confidence and inner healing. It's perfectly okay to remind yourself that you're amazing, special, and unique. It's a healthy practice for building self-esteem and nurturing your inner child. However, embracing this mindset doesn't mean viewing others as less than or separating yourself from the collective human experience. Instead, it's about recognizing that while we each have unique paths, no single path is inherently superior to another. Our stories are interwoven threads in the larger tapestry of life, each as significant as the next. Now, onto the subject of detachment, particularly in relationships. It's easy to fall into a lack mindset, fearing the loss of someone irreplaceable. This thought pattern is a direct offspring of our ego, whispering lies of scarcity and limitation. In truth, enforcing emotional detachment is not about denying our feelings or becoming indifferent, it's about embracing the abundance of the universe and our capacity for love. It's acknowledging that while someone may hold a special place in our hearts, our completeness doesn't rely solely on their presence. This realization liberates us from fear-based attachment, allowing us to love freely without clinging desperately. In resonating with the Stoic philosophy, it's invaluable to practice seeing every individual, including ourselves, through a lens of equality. Everyone we encounter, everyone we may part ways with, plays a role in our journey, just as we play a role in theirs. However, no role is indispensable. By internalizing this perspective, we cultivate profound emotional strength, preparing us to face life's uncertainties with grace. Detachment in practice. In practice, letting go requires willingness to release past experiences and relationships. It's like holding onto a rope so tightly that your hands start to ache, fearing the unknown if you were to let go. But letting go doesn't necessarily mean falling. Sometimes, it means stretching your hands out to reach for something even better. I learned this lesson firsthand when I clung to a comfortable relationship out of a sense of safety, unaware that I was closing myself off to potential happiness knocking on my door. Fear of missing out, or FOMO, is another trap. It's like watching others highlight reels on social media while feeling like you're missing out on life. But those snapshots don't reflect real life, they're curated, filtered moments meant to showcase perfection. Once I stopped fixating on others' stories and started living my own, FOMO lost its grip on me. Attachment to a false image of happiness can make letting go seem impossible. Seeing others seemingly living their best lives might trigger a fear of falling behind. But remember, grass only looks greener from a distance. Up close, it has its share of brown patches too. Detachment isn't about sacrificing happiness, it's about defining it on your terms. To emotionally detach, follow the Stoic principle: focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your growth. Realizing that no external factor has the power to define your worth or happiness is empowering. This realization serves as your armor, enabling you to move forward unburdened by unnecessary attachments and open to genuine, fulfilling connections awaiting you. Letting go isn't an end, it's a bold step toward the life you truly deserve. The path to happiness. Where does true value come from? It's a question that, when answered, can guide us away from unnecessary attachments and toward a state of emotional freedom. Understanding this concept is especially vital when facing the challenge of detaching from someone, a process deeply ingrained in the principles of Stoicism. Detachment isn't about severing ties with malice or indifference, it's about recognizing that the most profound form of companionship you'll ever possess is the one you have with yourself. True value, it turns out, stems from within: your character, your wisdom, how you treat others. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness is locked within someone else's presence in our lives, that our worth hinges on their approval or diminishes with their neglect. However, this mindset chains us, reducing our vast potential to the whims of another. It's like a bird believing it needs permission to fly, limiting our emotional skies. Imagine instead realizing that the sky has always been open, waiting for you to spread your wings on your own terms. This self-reliance is liberating, teaching us that our value does not fluctuate with others' opinions or presence. Detachment, therefore, isn't an act of pushing someone away but drawing ourselves closer to our essence. By focusing on personal growth, on becoming the best versions of ourselves, we unshackle from the heavy weight of neediness. It's akin to nurturing a garden. You wouldn't plead for a single flower to grow, you tend to the soil, water the plants, and trust in the natural process. In focusing on self-improvement, we cultivate a garden that blooms regardless of who chooses to walk through it or admire its beauty. This nurturing becomes a source of happiness that's independent, resilient, and profoundly rewarding. So, how do we tread this path of emotional detachment? It starts with the understanding that you are complete with or without someone's affirmation. Your journey is about discovering the expanses of your own sky, learning to love the freedom that comes from flying solo when necessary. Embrace Stoicism's wisdom. Focus on what's within your control, your thoughts, your actions, your growth. This doesn't mean closing your heart or turning a blind eye to love and connection, it means securing your emotional anchor in the steady ground of your being. Remember, your self-worth isn't a puzzle missing someone else's piece, it's a masterpiece in progress, complete as is, yet open to adding more beauty from the world around it.